Do you remember the first time you won electoral office? And well, I imagine you do. And I wanted to ask you, since you at that point you'd never won electoral office before, how did that first victory feel?
Surreal, amazing. I mean, I had a situation where the first office I ran for was a city council seat, and I actually lost the first time that I ran. It was in 2001 and 9/11. You know, all kinds of stuff was happening then, and I had to make the decision whether or not I was going to go for it again 4 years later. And I did in 2005 and won that race and took the oath of office in 2006. It was really surreal.
Especially after losing the first time, when you won the second time, was there like a moment or 1,000 moments where you were like, yes?
Oh yeah, 1,000 of those moments. And well, I see what you're doing here. It reminded me though.
What am I doing?
You're in that space and you got to say, will I take this chance again? Did that one loss define everything moving forward? Does it mean that, I could never run, never win? It's over, that kind of stuff. And as 2005 proved, no, it was just 2001 was just a moment in time. And 2005, I got back up on that horse and rode it into victory.
Yeah. All right. One more question about that, and then we'll do the regular show. So, do you remember what it was? You think like the top thing? I'm sure there's so many factors. You never know like how much of a factor each one of those was, but what you thought was the top factor for your victory, like what made the difference the second time around?
Learning a lot in the loss. Once you get over going through the stages of grief and you kind of analyze what went right, what went wrong, what could you change, what could you do better, that certainly was the foundational point going into 2005. And really my message in 2005 was you deserve better than what you had, and that I am that champion, I am that fighter. I want to use your power to help us get better because, I live in the community that I ran in and grew up in this community. And so that really was the difference. And also a better understanding of myself too, that second time around as well. So I think it was really a confluence of things that helped that victory. And it was a squeaker, it wasn't like it was I won I didn't win by a large margin, but I won. And that is the most important. I got one more vote, one more votes than the person that was running against me. But I definitely understood myself a little better, and that sometimes in loss, and I think this is a life lesson too, Cenk, it's not just about running for office. It really is in life that sometimes things don't go the way that we planned or the way that we calculated. And you can either let that crush you or you can use that as a sounding board for something else, whether that is doing the same thing again or doing something differently. But a loss in the moment or having an outcome that you didn't necessarily want does not mean the end of your future in any shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah. Well, two things resonated deeply there. One is you telling the voters you deserve better. That's a hell of a message. And that makes a ton of sense. And it's got Nina Turner written all over it. And obviously I had the electoral loss too. And for me, I'm never going back. So that loss is going to stay on my record forever and ever. And but I learned so much from it, and I'm using it to help others. So whether you get the credit or you don't get the credit, at least I feel like I've turned it into something positive in the world, right? And so, yeah,
you have, Cenk, and we need you right where you are. I mean, had you won, you would totally be an awesome force in the Congress. But the work and what you're doing right now through the channels of media, and God knows as mainstream media just continues to parrot what the corporatists of both parties have to say and what the corporations, the corporate states of America, by and large, they don't have a working class lens, as you and I talk about all the time. what you have built at TYT is necessary. And it also reminds me, I'm doing a lot of puzzles with my grandchildren, and every piece has a distinctive role. And sometimes we forget that. And the pieces make the whole. I mean, we need every piece to bring the picture into focus. And what you are doing to help with democracy, which we're going to be talking about that a little later in the show, is absolutely necessary, like life and death necessary. So thank you for your vision and for your sacrifice.
Well, I appreciate you saying that. That's lovely of you to say. And it's
true.
And I do sometimes think of a world that could have been an alternate universe where you and I were both in Congress. My guess is that things would have been different.
Oh, most definitely.
Yeah, I don't think.
May I ask you a question about your race? What was it? What were some of the things that resonated really deeply with you, and why did you make the decision that you're going to use your gifts, continue to use your gifts in the way that you're using them right now?
Yeah, you know how I think it was in Ferris Bueller, they said, I didn't know that math was going to be involved here. I didn't know you asking me questions was going to be involved here. Okay, no, seriously, that's a great question. And it's important that I should share it with the audience. The number one lesson that I learned is, and which then doubles down on why I'm staying right here, is that media was the biggest factor by an order of magnitude. I had as much money as Christie did, as the Republicans did, and I had way more volunteers. I think my campaign manager was brilliant. I think we did a lot of things right, but when the media attacked, there was no defense against it because they would just take the mic away. And so, the voters only heard negative things about me. They heard almost literally no positive things about me. So I don't sometimes people get mad at the voters. That's like Democratic leadership 101 to get mad at the voters. Not me. I don't blame them at all. If I thought that I was the guy that the media painted me to be, I'd vote against me too. And so that's why the power of the media is so overwhelmingly important.
Yeah, and I know the feeling about how people paint you. You don't even recognize yourself sometimes.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, look, they said I was anti-Muslim. I'm Muslim. It just doesn't
Go figure.
Yeah. So, but the reason I bring that up is not just, oh yeah, they're bad guys and they were lying about me, blah, blah, blah. No, I bring that up because if I thought somebody was running in my district that was anti-Muslim, I'd definitely vote against them, right?
Sure.
Or anti-Semitic or anti-black or anything of those things. Of course I'd vote against them. Right. So that's why the framing of the press, unfortunately, makes a giant difference. But hey, good news. Here we are on our own.
Here we are. The power of the mic, baby.
That's right. They can't take this one away.
No, they cannot. Thanks to the members, right?
That's right. That's right. That's absolutely true. Yeah. And guys, I mean, look, that's not just like a glib thing to say. Because we're funded by you guys, they literally cannot take our power away. You're our power, and they'd have to get to you $5 at a time, right? And it's not going to happen. So you whatever power we have, you have given us.
Exactly right.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.